piloted this idea last year when we highlighted the work being done with our mobile remote workforce. You remember that program. Since showcasing that program last year, interest across the country has been phenomenal. And while that is not our primary goal, it is an added benefit, as we fully expect the programs we will present this year will in fact be of interest to numerous governments across the state and the nation. We begin today with something near and dear to all of us, life-changing programs involving senior citizens and kids. And to bring us that presentation, let me introduce Pam Smith, Regional General Manager of the Health and Human Services Agency.
Good morning. Chairman Roberts, Board of Supervisors, Mr. Eckert, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. And I will refer you, you've been given a packet that has a copy of the PowerPoint, but a lot of other things that I'll refer to, so you have it as a reference to take, some videos and things as well. I think everyone is kind of familiar with this picture of the aging of America, the aging of San Diego, and if you're not familiar with this picture, just look around the room, and you'll see that truly it is the aging of America.
Be careful, pal.
It's a good, I'm here to tell you it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But I would like to have you think a minute. 100 years ago, how different aging is today. Average life expectancy 100 years ago in America was 47. Which would probably eliminate quite a few people in this room as well. Life was very different. We mostly lived on the farm and in small towns. We lived as extended families. And while a few people lived into old age, not many. We didn't journey far. Our worlds were there, and they were family, and family continued to care for each other. But the 20th century brought many, many great gifts. Communication, transportation, medicine. But perhaps the great gift that it brought is that the average life expectancy in the United States now is 77. Now, for centuries before, it had crept up a couple of days a century. We gained 30 years of life in the last century. I guess it leaves the question, though, because mostly what we hear and see is the doom and gloom. Is Social Security going to go broke? Is Medicare going to go broke? How are we going to care for this aging population? But I believe that I guess we can look at it either as the great tsunami headed our way, or is it an opportunity of great renaissance? And what I'm going to talk about today, and what I think this board has actively shown, is we believe that it really can be a period of great renaissance. The fastest growing segment of the population is over 85, and the 55, 60, wherever you want to draw the line, that population is growing. The baby boomers just started turning 60 last year. So we have, of all segments of the aging population, growing. But what I think we have to think about is that Americans today will spend 25% of their lives in retirement. Again, if you go back 100 years ago, there wasn't even really a notion of retirement. You didn't draw a line in the sand one day and say you're not going to go milk cows anymore. You just stayed part of your family, part of your business, part of contributing. So again, as retirement hits, and then early visions of retirement, I think we're growing up, living a full life, retiring, having a few years that are kind of a downward spiral. Well, that's very different. Think of this, that we're going to live 20 or 30 years after retirement, 25% of our lives there. And that perhaps that gives us the opportunity to realize that maybe America's only growing natural resource is older adults. Seniors today range in age from 55 to 110 plus. And they are vibrant and active. Never before in the history of the world have we had this many people live this long that have this much experience, education, talent, and then, of course, in retirement, that great gift of time. So what can we do with that? We know there are challenges to healthy aging. We know that if seniors get off alone and isolated, it's a problem. Depression, poor planning, lack of fulfilling opportunities. Believe it or not, transitioning into meaningful retirement is harder than you think. Obesity is a problem, substance abuse. And we know that, again, if you can't continue to find a role in life, it can often be a sad time. This is a picture of a ride-along I did with the Public Administrator's Office of a senior that obviously her last years were not good ones. She had been isolated, alone, forgotten. She lived in the middle of a vibrant community. This woman's name was Carol. She was a teacher. But this place was filthy, had feces, rats, all kinds of problems there. And we think, how did we lose her? And how can we keep them connected? So if we know what problems can come, what do we know are the keys to healthy aging? Well, we know that physical fitness is very, very important. We used to think that how we age and how long we live is 80% the genes we inherit, 20% what we do. Research has really reversed that now. 80% is behaviorally driven by how healthy we stay and what we do to stay healthy and exercise. We have added Feeling Fit clubs, vital aging conferences, health promotions, and trying to educate our older adult population that it's never too late to become physically fit. New study is also showing us that, we generate new brain cells, a lot of new research on the brain. Lifelong learning needs to be part of healthy aging as well. But some of the recent data has really showed us that maybe one of the most important things is that we have to continue to have purpose and meaning in life. We have to have relevance. While people look forward to not getting up to early alarm and driving on commutes and rainy days, they still want to be part of something important in the community. No one wants to be put out to pasture. And that's a difficult thing in a culture and a society that really values youth, and our identity is often taken from our jobs. Then what do we do in retirement? So at the same time now that we have this growing army out there of older adults that, believe it or not, often when they do go to try to get engaged, are asked to do things like stuff envelopes, kind of meaningless tasks, not meaningful tasks. So we've got to do better than that. And at the same time as that, we know that in our community, we have kids everywhere that need more caring adults in their life. We have more single parents than ever. We have more parents working 3 and 4 jobs. We have children that may go through a day that only to see 2 or 3 adults in their life, a parent, a teacher. According to the International Labor Organizations, Americans are working more hours than anywhere on earth. So we work about 13 months in 12. So parents are very busy and stressed out, and it's difficult to spend quality time. Yet somehow